Hey guys, FNAF22 here with our video, and with Mortal Kombat 1's Kombat Pack 1 officially coming to an end with Takeda, the final character, coming out just a few weeks ago, and the new announcement of the Chaos Reigns DLC and Kombat Pack 2, I thought I should do a video ranking and reviewing every character from Kombat Pack 1. So this is a ranking from characters worst to best, the 6 characters in Kombat Pack 1, the 3 Mortal Kombat and 3 guest characters, and we're pretty much going to be ranking them obviously based off my opinion, but off of their design, off how fun they are to play and their combos, and of course how good their fatal blow is and their first fatality. So we're pretty much just ranking them off the rip. We're not ranking them like how good you get with them or how good their entire brutalities and fatality catalog is. We're just ranking them based off when you first get them and the first few matches you play with them, and of course their design. But before we get into the actual DLC characters, I'm going to do a real quick run over of all the DLC cameo characters, just so nobody says in the comments I never talked about the cameo characters. There are 5 cameo characters in the first Kombat Pack, and we're going to go from worst to best. Starting at number 5, I have Janet Cage. In my opinion, she was just a boring cameo character overall, not very helpful, and she's only really good for pop-up attacks. Not my cup of tea. These are all in my opinion, by the way. I should preference that. Coming in at number 4, I've got Movado. He's got a good attire adaptation. It looks good, but his mechanics are pretty weird. They only work under certain criteria, and he's not as good as I was expecting. I see a lot of people use him, so I thought I'd like him a bit more, but not my cup of tea personally. Then coming in at number 3, I have Tremor. He has an awesome attire. I love the absolute classic ninja attire with the rock form, and he has multiple different variations as well as unique ideas. He has like a lava form, rock form, crystal form. In my opinion, it feels like too much variation, like it feels like there's too much to do with him, but he still turns out as a really good cameo. Then surprisingly, coming in at number 2, I have Pharah. Looks absolutely amazing, just like from MKX, and has a very unique cameo style, and the reason I like it, it feels more like classic Mortal Kombat, where they're more of just a helper and not really a cameo fighter. I don't care too much for the cameo fighters. They're sometimes good, sometimes bad, but I like Pharah because she feels more like you're just playing normal Mortal Kombat. All she does is help you with combos and buff your stats, so I think that's why I like her a lot. And then coming in at number 1 for my favorite cameo from Kombat Pack 1, I have Chameleon. I think it has an absolutely cool new attire, has the cool idea of switching between Katana, Melina, and Jade. The only thing I wish for Chameleon is they had another variation, like maybe a Scarlet variation too, or just a 4th female ninja. I think it just feels weird to only have 3 of them, but it makes sense because it's the 3 classic Katana, Melina, and Jade. So there's my real quick rundown of all the cameo DLC. Janet Cage at 5, Movado at 4, Tremor at 3, Pharah at 2, and Chameleon at 1. Now moving on to the actual video at hand, the actual Mortal Kombat 1 DLC ranking, and for me, coming in at 6, my least favorite character, I've got Ermac. Now there's no reason that Ermac is this low. I think all the characters are actually pretty decent. I don't think there's really a bad character per se in this Kombat Pack, but Ermac was just my least favorite. First off, I think Ermac has an ugly design. Now, yes, if you've seen the story mode for Mortal Kombat 1, it makes sense why that's his design. I get the reasoning, but I think his design looks awful. I think his UMK3 skin looks way better. I just hate his base design. I think it's awful. But he is a decently fun character with fun combos. It's mostly just new adaptations of his old moves, and I think he is pretty fun to play. But out of all the characters, he just turned out to be my least favorite. I think he does have a cool fatal blow, but I think his first fatality is pretty mid. I know a lot of people say it's pretty gruesome. I can't show it here, obviously, because of YouTube. But overall, I don't think his first fatality is that good. I think it's just kind of boring, in my opinion. But the worst thing about Ermac is that invincible move. His invincible move is literally the dumbest thing. Die! And next up, coming in at number 5, I have Homelander from The Boys. Okay, everybody put down your pitchforks. I know, just hear me out. Homelander has a great design. His design is absolutely perfect, and I love The Boys. I love Homelander. But he's not as cool as I thought he would be. I thought he'd be a way better character, but in my opinion, he's not that fun to play, and he's not as cool as I was hoping he'd be. He has a decent fatal blow. He has an amazing fatality. I think his first fatality is one of the best fatalities in the game, do not get me wrong. But I don't think he's that fun of a character. He barely just beats out Ermac. Honestly, I thought about putting Homelander at 6, but the only reason I find him to be a little bit better is just because his design is better. He has a better fatality, and I think just the character in overall is a little bit better than Ermac, but I still think he's one of the worst characters. And it kind of sucks to say. I don't want to say he's one of the worst DLCs in Mortal Kombat history, because there are some other characters from other franchises that have been a little bit worse, but in my opinion, he was not as fun as I was hoping for him to be. That's why he comes in at number 5, and honestly, bro just does not care.
What's the point?
And coming in at number 4, character I'm very surprised by, I have Quan Chi. Now, when I went into this DLC, I was expecting Quan Chi to be my least favorite character, but he's actually really not that bad. He has a decent design. It's just like a normal, you know, Quan Chi design, what you would expect. He has pretty good combos, and I really like the visuals of his moveset. I think all of, like, the flare and glow looks really cool. Even though he's a little bit of a slower character, I tend to like the faster characters, so I don't really like Shao Kahn and Shiva, because they're a lot slower. He is a slower character, but once you get him down, his combos are pretty good. He does have a decent fatal blow with some decent range, which is always good. You know, you want a good fatal blow with good range, of course. And in my opinion, he has one of the better fatalities in this DLC set out of the Mortal Kombat characters. So out of him, Ermac, and Takeda, he has one of the better first fatalities, and his second fatality is also really good as well. I know we're not ranking it, but I have seen it. It is really good. So yeah, honestly, Quan Chi turns out to be a pretty decent character overall. I did not think I'd like him going into this, but I liked him a lot more than I thought, so that's always a good thing. And plus, he has the bloody hentai tentacles. And kicking off the top 3, we have Peacemaker. Now, honestly, Peacemaker was the guest character I was most excited for, and it does kind of sadden me that he's not as good as I thought he was going to be, but he still makes it top 3 for me, so that's always good. He has a great design. Absolutely loved the design, of course. All the DLC guest characters have really good designs, which is good. He does have weirdly fun mechanics. He is definitely a zoner character, which is not always good, you know, like classic Johnny Cage. But once you learn his actual moveset, he's actually not that bad. But once you first start with him, he definitely does just feel like a zoner character, which does kind of suck. But he does have a cool and funny fatal blow. I absolutely loved his fatal blow. It's hilarious. In my opinion, I think his first fatality is kind of disappointing. I know a lot of people do like it, but it's just him pretty much shooting at one of those bug things from his TV series, which was absolutely amazing. And he pretty much just accidentally kills the character. I don't know, I think it's kind of dumb in my opinion. I don't really care for it too much. I know a lot of people like it. It is funny, but I do think it's kind of a dumb fatality. But he is a pretty funny character overall, and that's why Peacemaker comes in at number 3. Kind of disappointing, but also good at the same time. I don't know, he's just like a mixed bag, but I think he's a lot better than all the other characters I've said before. Maybe close with Quan Chi. My only problem with Peacemaker is for some reason every time I try to play him, he just is invisible. And coming in at number 2, which I'm very surprised for, we have Omni-Man from the Invincible TV series. First off, has an absolutely great design, of course, and I absolutely love J.K. Simmons coming back to do the face capture and voice acting for Omni-Man. Absolutely love it. He is a basic but fun superhero character. He plays just like any other superhero character would, like in Injustice, but he is still a very fun character, in my opinion, a lot funner than Homelander, which I was very surprised by. I was hoping they'd kind of go hand to hand, but I think Omni-Man is the better character, in my opinion. Remember, this is all my opinion. But he has a super OP and cool fatal blow. His fatal blow is super OP, but it does look really cool, which is obviously great. And it has the meme of him absolutely beating down the character like he does his son in the show. But he has an absolutely amazing fatality as well with the train fatality. I think him and Homelander have some of the best fatalities in this combat pack, which is really good. That's one of the reasons Homelander didn't go last place, was just because his fatality was so good. And I think Omni-Man's train fatality is so cool as well. They just have so many new assets that were made just for them. It's absolutely sick. I love it. And I love all the references to his TV show. Like I said, him beating down Invincible and the train fatality. I love all the references. It's absolutely amazing. Omni-Man, one of the greatest characters in this combat pack. But there was one more character, in my opinion, who was better. And coming in at number 1, if you are a longtime viewer of the channel, you should know this was going to be my favorite. We have Takeda. Now, I was super hyped when Takeda got announced for this game because he has not been in a game since MKX, and I was waiting for him to come back because he was the only combat kid I really enjoyed from that game, and he has an awesome design. I really love the new redesign. His armor is a little bit bulky, but I still think it does look really good. I do kind of hope we get like an MKX design as one of his alt costumes. I don't think there is one yet, but that would look absolutely sick. He's a super fun character with lots of combos. I know a lot of people say he's a spammy character, but in my opinion, he plays like a mixture of Scorpion and the old MKX Takeda, which I really like. I think he is a very fun character, in my opinion. He has a weird mechanic for his Fatal Blow, but I still think it is really cool. It's where, for the longest time, I thought you triggered it and you had to hit him like you do with Johnny Cage and MK9, which was going to be really dumb. I hate those Fatal Blows or X-rays, whatever you want to call them. But it actually turned out pretty cool. Once you hit it, he goes into like a stance, and then he throws ninja stars, and you pretty much just mash your button, either X or square, and he throws as many as you can hit, and then it does extra damage. So I think that is pretty cool, honestly. Something I feel like we either have seen and haven't seen it in a while, or something that's completely brand new. Either way, turned out really good. And he does have a decent fatality. It's not the best thing in the world. I know his second fatality is a lot better, but I still think it does end up being pretty cool. And the weirdest thing about Takeda is he's pretty much Batman. I mean, look at the end of this brutality. He's pretty much Batman. So yeah, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Don't forget to leave, like, subscribe, and hit the bell so you will always be notified for when I drop another video. And let me know in the comments down below your guys' rankings for Mortal Kombat 1's combat pack, for the DLC characters and for the cameo fighters. In my opinion, like I said, my two favorites for the cameo fighters, my top was Chameleon, and for the DLC pack, mine was Takeda. I'm very excited for Combat Pack 2, and let me know in the comments down below if you guys would like to see me do this again, but with Combat Pack 2 characters, aka Ghostface, Sector, Cyrax, Conan the Barbarian, T-1000, Noob Saibot, everything right there. And of course, let me know if you guys are excited for the Chaos Reigns DLC. It comes out in about a month at the time you guys are seeing this. And also, just real quick, if I do sound a little bit weird in this video, I think I'm just coming off of a sickness, so if my voice sounds a little bit raspy, that's probably the major reason why. But I hope you guys enjoyed, and before I let you go, real quick, would you like to join along on an adventure, on a journey? Well, you can here for completely free. My goal by the end of 2024 is to become a YouTube partner, aka hit 1,000 subscribers. If you want to join along on this journey, all you have to do is subscribe to the channel. We make Mortal Kombat, Fortnite, and Five Nights at Freddy's content. I would absolutely love to have you guys join along on this journey, but it's completely free. So if you enjoyed the video, you know, not trying to make you feel any decisive, but just saying. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Deuces!